What do you think?
I'm shocked. Yeah, I just don't really know what to say about it because I don't know anybody that carries guns randomly.
Today on the Morning Edition, the community reels in shock at a display of gun violence in our shopping centers. We'll bring you the latest details and let you know how officers are handling the situation. Plus, we're learning more about the teen that was tragically killed over the weekend, who his family says he was, and why he may have been in the position he was in. And later, an engagement ring was found after being lost for over a decade. How those that found it went about finding its owner and getting it back into or on the proper hand. All of that as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. I have been spending a lot of time on my porch. We have been blessed with some sunshine. It was really great yesterday.
And we're just going to continue to see more sunshine. These temperatures continuing to steadily warm. Absolutely beautiful to start off your Thursday morning with those temperatures in the 40s and the 50s. Grab your sunglasses before you hit the road this morning, as that sun is going to be shining in full force throughout the afternoon for many areas of the state. Now out towards southeast, while things are drying out, we'll still hold on to some cloud coverage today. Tomorrow really starts that trend to some sunnier conditions for a good portion of the panhandle. But it is a gorgeous start to your Thursday. We've got those temperatures sitting in the 40s across the vast majority of South Central. Now, while most locations are sitting up under some sunshine, as you head out towards the eastern parts of Prince William Sound, we're still holding on to some overcast skies. Not expecting rain today like we did see yesterday. But those overcast skies will largely stay with us for most of the day. And as a result of that, temperatures will be about 5 or so degrees cooler than surrounding areas. And you can see this morning, not much going on, but there is that cloud coverage as you head out towards eastern parts of Prince William Sound. From that easterly wave, most of that rain is shifted out over northern parts of the Gulf of Alaska. This will, again, once we head into the afternoon hours, help kind of initiate some thunderstorm development later today through parts of the Copper River Basin and in northern parts of the Susitna Valley, where we could see some of that thunderstorm activity. So for today, we are going to see, again, beautiful conditions as we warm back into the 60s. We've even got some 70s that will dot the landscape across South Central as we head into the afternoon hours. Any of that thunderstorm activity we do see fire today will lead to some increasing cloud coverage across parts of South Central, but largely expecting most locations to stay dry outside of those typical areas that do tend to see some of that thunderstorm development. And keep in mind, anytime we have thunderstorms, anytime you hear that thunder roar, head indoors because that means lightning strikes could impact you. Avoid high points, trees, and water. And you want to also watch for quick changing conditions. I'll have more on that as well as that 7-day forecast for you and warmer conditions heading our way coming up.
Police say Walmart loss prevention had a suspect detained in a back office late Tuesday night. But when officers moved in to arrest them, the situation changed in an instant. Dispatch got the call from the South Anchorage Walmart around 10:03, reporting that retail theft suspect was in custody. Officers arrived and waited for backup before 3 patrol officers went into the loss prevention office. Investigators say as officers tried to handcuff the suspect to search and take him into custody, the suspect tried to run and then pulled out a concealed handgun and fired, hitting one officer twice in the lower body. Police say another officer was also hit in the chest, but that round was stopped by a ballistic plate. The officer who was hit in the chest shot back and ultimately killed the suspect.
You know, we've talked about retail theft, and we're not going to give up on retail theft. We've talked about how retail theft is linked to other crimes, to include violent crimes. That we have individuals that are violent actors that also commit retail theft. I think last night was a perfect example. We're not going to let up on violent crime.
Police reiterate this information is preliminary as they continue reviewing body camera video and security footage. They also say none of the 3 officers involved have been interviewed yet due to their injuries. The shooting has left the community feeling rattled and uncertain. As Lauren Maxwell reports, many community members are no longer feeling safe in Anchorage, and they believe something needs to change.
Well, this is a shocking crime. 2 police officers shot, a 3rd injured, and a suspect dead, all in a place where thousands of people shop every day. The Southside Walmart was closed on Wednesday as security guards turned lines of would-be shoppers away. Most of the people we spoke with hadn't heard about the shooting.
I'm shocked.
Including a woman who works right across the street and who says crime is getting worse.
Well, I don't feel as safe as I used to, put it that way.
One man told us,
I don't think any area of town's safe anymore.
he says he doesn't always feel comfortable shopping in Anchorage.
It's just not safe to go to some of the big box stores anymore.
But two other men say they think the problem comes from being soft on crime.
These guys are coming in here stealing stuff and walking away, and we need to do some justice reform somehow.
There's crimes out there right now you see in the news all the time where they're letting the guy go. Now he had a gun, scared somebody or shot somebody. Oh, we'll let him go. They got to stop that. Law is the law, and just abide by the law.
Now, to be fair, Anchorage police have put a big emphasis on trying to stop retail theft, and the city is also working with state prosecutors to try to put more of those offenders behind bars. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
Another update in the Senate race, removing the Petersburg-Sullivan off the ballot violated the law. That's according to the state legislature's attorney, and comes from a memo Alaska's news source received Wednesday afternoon. It comes after election director Carol Beecher removed him earlier this week. The question we're asking now, is this headed for a lawsuit? For the full story, including what the attorney says the state violated, that's all on our website or mobile app. Thomas Tamaganuk just celebrated his 16th birthday in April, and while his family admits he wasn't perfect, the grief that they experience is just the same after losing him in a shooting over the weekend. Joe Allgood spoke with his family and shares their story.
I immediately called all of my siblings. I called her first. I called Araya first, and I didn't know how else to get it out other than to just scream and say that he's gone.
Questions filled the mind of Thomas Tamaganuk's family after his death. What happened? How could he be gone?
Our family has lost 5 important people in our family just in one short year.
Including Thomas's mother.
When we had lost our mother, he still found ways to bring back memories of my mom, but in a way that wasn't painful.
In the wake of such loss, his sisters say Thomas may have been desperate. Court documents allege he broke into a car on Hoyt Street shortly before being shot. 25-year-old Remel Nance was arrested and charged in relation to the crime.
For the people that believe that Remel Nance's actions are justifiable, I want you to reconsider what is justifiable, what has more value, 2 teen lives versus a car window. What is replaceable and what is not replaceable.
Thomas won't be replaced in his family. What's more, he won't see a family of his own.
We just found out in April that I'm pregnant, and we were just talking about throwing the baby shower. He didn't even get to find out the gender yet. He was so excited to be a dad.
Forever 16, forever remembered by those who knew him.
He was still just a kid, and growing up with him, he always kept things fun and interesting.
He was our only brother in a house of girls, and he made our lives so much more fun. He was always the loudest in the room, and it's gonna be quiet without him.
Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Was it suicide or murder? The trial of Zarius Hildebrandt continued on Wednesday.
The manner of death that I certified was as a homicide.
The state medical examiner testified Wednesday for 21-year-old specialist Soraya Hildebrandt, who was serving in the Alaska National Guard. Her husband, 23-year-old Zarius Hildebrandt, showed no emotions in court. The state claims he shot and killed his wife on August 6, 2023. Evidence shown in court included autopsy photos showing how she died from a gunshot to her forehead. State witnesses claim it was done from a distance of 2.5 feet or closer. The defense pushed back against the state witness, claiming it was a suicide. Lawmakers are waiting to see what the governor will do with bills and resolutions they passed months ago, with the deadline quickly approaching tonight. Will Courtney has the story.
There are 24 different pieces of legislation on the governor's desk and a deadline of Thursday night to get 24 bills across the finish line. But the question we're asking, what bills have a chance to survive an override if the governor decides to veto? So let's look at what the threshold is for a veto override. There are 60 votes in the legislature, 40 in the House, 20 in the Senate. When it comes to a veto override, the highest threshold is for appropriations bills, things that raise revenue or spend revenue. That's a 45 vote threshold. And then the smallest is a regular bill. That's just a 40 vote threshold, things that maybe change policy. So let's look at some of the examples of the bills that we're talking about today. One is HB 28, that's on education. There are 51 votes that it received during the regular session. Even in its highest threshold needed, that's 45 votes. It well outpaces that if it keeps the votes the same. Another bill we're watching, SB 24, doesn't quite reach that same threshold, one on tobacco tax. It gained 39 votes in the regular session. That does not even reach the normal threshold of 40. Now, things could, of course, change, but we're still trying to get a better idea of what's next. But again, the governor has until the end of Thursday to ultimately get a plan across the finish line. And at the same time, if the legislature does receive any vetoes, they have until Friday. That's the end of the special session to make a decision. Will Courtney, Alaska's news source.
The Downtown Association of Fairbanks is almost ready for the Midnight Sun Festival. That's on Saturday, one day before solstice. One of the bigger changes this year will be the presence of what's being called the starter block. That's in the space once occupied by the Polaris building. According to festival organizers, there will be at least one change to activities.
This year for the festival, in the 44th year, we are expanding to do 4 stages. We may have done 4 stages in the past, but it's been a really, really long time if we have, so we're really excited about that. That means 12 hours across 4 stages of performances, dance groups, and then just community activation like Kendall's Hero Games that happens right here.
Streets being used for the festival will be closed to public traffic starting at 9 p.m. Friday. The party starts at noon Saturday and runs to midnight. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, a band is returning to Alaska after 2 decades. On a tour and with a mission, we'll show you what they're working to accomplish and why.
And we continue to see those temperatures warm across the state as those 70s and 80s make a return. I'll have more on that. But first at sunrise, 4:20 in Anchorage, 5:13 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Welcome back in 15 minutes past the hours. A clear view of Sleeping Lady in the background over Midtown. Looking very nice, Aaron, or is the sunshine staying with us?
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of it as we head through the rest of your Thursday. Now, as those thunderstorms fire later today, some clouds will begin to build in across parts of South Central. So you do want to watch for some of that lightning in areas where we will be watching that thunderstorm potential. Thinking more out towards the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains is where we're going to have that better shot of seeing some of that thunderstorm activity. But elsewhere, we're largely going to hold on to dry conditions with just a slight chance that we could see some showery weather. As far as what we are dealing with, though, when it comes to our temperatures, we largely been holding on to fairly seasonal conditions over the last 2 weeks. We've kind of seen a slight dip in our temperatures that we did see last week into early this week, but our temperatures once again continue to climb, and we are going to climb back into the 70s as we head through the close of this week and welcome in the weekend. As far as those temperatures this morning, 38 in Utqiagvik, 45 in Kotzebue, 48 degrees in Kipnuk. We got 44 in Glen Allen and 48 degrees in Juneau. So for the most part, temperatures across the vast majority of the state fairly uniform as we wake up on your Thursday morning, and things are fairly dry as well. Outside of locations out towards the Yukon Delta and areas of southwest Alaska. And this comes as an upper level low is sweeping through the region. And that is just keeping some showery conditions with that area of Alaska. Outside of that, we're largely dry for many locations. And this will kind of fizzle out as we head throughout the afternoon and evening hours, which will actually keep things a little bit on the cooler side as you head across the Kuskokwim Delta and the Yukon Delta as we head through the rest of your Thursday. Meanwhile, across South Central, not much going on this morning outside of that cloud coverage we have that's moving in from the west or from the east, and that is going to keep at least some overcast skies across eastern parts of Prince William Sound. But as far as the rest of South Central, ample sunshine to be expected as we head through the rest of today. There is that the rain showers out west. Notice how it kind of fizzles out as we head throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. We'll be watching some of those storms firing later today. And again, I think more of it's going to be out towards the foothills of the Talkeetna Mountains. Our better shot of storms statewide arrives as we welcome in our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, Saturday may actually be a very stormy day for areas of the interior. So we'll keep with this daily chance of seeing some thunderstorm activity. Notice as we head into the first part of the weekend, there it is, those storms really beginning to fire as we welcome in our Saturday. So that is going to be one of the days that we watch for frequent lightning, and any of those storms bring the potential for hail, gusty winds, as well as some heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, across the Kenai, Anchorage, and as you head through Prince William Sound, we're largely going to stay dry. Now, if any of those storms can shift south, we may see some increasing cloud coverage and maybe clipped by a chance for some showers, but largely expecting those dry conditions to remain for many areas. So we'll warm into the 60s and the 70s today. The better chance for the 70s will be off to our north, 72 in Wasilla, 76 degrees in Talkeetna. So we'll easily see a decent shot for some of those thunderstorms to fire out towards Talkeetna, as well as Trapper Creek. You can see leading up to the weekend, those temperatures staying near 70 degrees. In fact, even into next week, we're going to continue to stay with those highs in the upper 60s and the lower 70s. So this week, or really the next week, Kristen, a treat. Get outdoors, soak up some of that sunshine and summer warmth.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Aaron. A band that played 22 years ago is back in Alaska and with a cause. Danny Tompkins takes us along for some music as they prepare for their performances this solstice weekend.
Summer solstice is right around the corner, and Alaskans like to celebrate in different ways, and one way is with music. You can hear behind me a band that is touring up in Alaska. It's the MS Tour 2026, and they are here to help raise support for multiple sclerosis. Now, the one on the guitar back here, that's Anthony, and he helped start the band 22 years ago, and he's back in Alaska this summer, hoping to share his music and share support. He used to be an avalanche educator here in Alaska and says that once he was diagnosed over a decade ago with primary MS, music is what keeps him going.
And the music is keeping me alive, so I'm willing and happy to do it and continue this.
The tour plans to go through Talkeetna, Palmer, Hatcher Pass, and even all the way to Homer. And they hope to share their love for music and, of course, raise awareness for MS. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Just a few hours left for the Star-Spangled Sing-Off. This afternoon, we will announce our local champion at 3:30. That person will go on to represent KTUU at the regional level of the competition. Join us later today at 3:30 on our free streaming apps, which you can download on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku, and witness who is named our champion.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.